Hello, I'm Paul, and I can't believe we're almost halfway through December already.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I want you to give your money to Crisis. And this is Paul and Andrew watch all of Friday the 13th, where tonight we watch Jason Goes to Hell. I'm trying to. I've read up on
Just
it.
trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. Hey, Paul, before we get to what we both expect to be an absolute shit show of a movie, how was your week?
My week has involved working, sleeping, and repeating that process. Even before this show, I went through my Netflix viewing history to see if I had watched anything this week, and the answer is no. The last thing I watched was 9 days ago. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That
busy week.
sucks. I've not been as busy, which means I've spent most of my time when I haven't been continuing to watch The Crown because of I don't know. I don't know why I'm still watching The Crown. I just am.
Addictive historical inaccuracy.
Yeah. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 and discovering all its new and exciting glitches, and it's all right. Interestingly enough, I've never cared about like a GTA kind of game before. I tried GTA something, and I tried Saints Row and all that. Never really cared for them. This is essentially that kind of game, and it's actually quite a laugh. I quite enjoy it. So I think I'm very environment motivated. So that's interesting. So I don't dislike the format. I just don't continue to not have any interesting gangster stories, I think. Even though Cyberpunk is kind of a gangster story.
Yeah, but it's a much richer setting.
Yeah, part of what I did today was there's an AI taxi company, which is a taxi company, and 7 of its taxis went missing, which was 7 of itself, and I had to convince multiple parts of itself to return to the main one, and they had a bit of, group therapy, and that was all really weird. So that was fun. Oh, we got a comment. Hey, it's Scarlet Tiger Chili.
Hello.
Welcome. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. So
yeah. Now I understand that we've got 3 more Friday the 13th films to watch together this year. But aren't we watching it? Aren't we watching another film together on Sunday the 27th?
Yes, we are. Sunday the 27th from 12 till about 12 till before 2. You and I will be watching House of the Dead as part of the UE Ball, which is our charity event for Crisis. And Scarlet Tiger Chili knows all about it. So we're literally saying this for anyone who's being quiet or anyone who's watching this on YouTube. Please go to bunkercilla.co.uk/UE-bowl-ball, or just go to bunker.co.uk and you can find out how you can donate to that to help Crisis. We're trying to raise £1,000 for the homeless at Christmas. And yeah, we're going to be watching absolutely terrible movies. Some actually even worse than last week's Friday the 13th. We're going to be basically for every 200 quid we get thrown, we watch another one of these Yuri Ball movies, and they're all about as much fun as a kick in the nuts. And the only thing I could think of worse than watching them is being homeless. So yeah, good enough shameless plug for you.
I think that's perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, I hope that hasn't taken up too much of your time. So, Paul, how do you think the series is going so far?
Well, I have enjoyed this series so far. It is of better quality than I was expecting, certainly. I thought by this point we'd have some real dregs. My only real disappointment has been the last third of the last film, which,
you say that, but
really got me.
You gave it the same rating as Part 7.
Yes, but it was a disappointment because the first two. Yeah.
You were
So
saying,
the
sorry?
first two thirds of the last film were
Yeah.
actually quite good, and it was
Yes.
just the fact that the last third was so bad that I felt robbed. Whereas
And
the
yeah,
part seven was just consistently bad.
even yeah, and I could not convince you to give it a higher rating. Could I? I did try. I think that was that was a pretty good try.
You did try, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, we have to ask, do you have any exciting stats for us? Because I've been looking forward for this all week.
Well, I have some statistics that excite me, so yes.
It's Paul's exciting world of Friday the 13th stats. Woo!
So this week I wanted to look at an important question, and that is, I'll just get my thing going. Was it all worth it? So here we can see the stats of the films that we've watched so far. And I understand that for a film to be considered successful, the box office needs to be twice that of the budget. So
Yes.
I've made up my own stat here called profit, which is the box office less twice the budget. Now,
Very nice.
these are all the figures in the year of release, so we can adjust those for inflation to get an idea of these in today's money.
Oh
So there
wow.
we go. Yeah, so Friday the 13th made $185 million worth of profit in today's money. That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, that had a. Oh gosh, that would have been about 350,000 to make in today's money, possibly
Yeah,
300,000.
yeah,
It was cheap as chips.
it was cheap, yeah. So they did really well out of that one. And of all the films that we've seen, it's certainly the one with the lowest budget and the highest box office. So that was the big money
And
maker.
it's still your favourite.
Yes, it is still my favourite.
Yeah.
But as we look at the other films, we can see there's this general trend of an increase in budget and a decline in returns from the box office.
But the
Now,
budgets are still tiny.
they are tiny. I mean, I think we got up to about 5 million for the last one that we just seen.
Mm.
So we're not talking significant, and they are all still making a decent profit.
Mm.
So I mean, the worst one we've got there is just over 9 million. I'm not going to complain about 9 million in my back pocket, would you?
No,
No.
I think that's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're all doing well, but if I was an executive and I looked at something like this, it would start worrying me, uh,
Mm.
and I would be looking to make some changes before making any more films.
Mm-hmm.
But what would happen if they continued in this vein? So we know that we've got 4 more films to watch, and because we have some statistics, we can make predictions. If they continued in this trend, what would we see? So I've based this upon the year of release, and it looks like Jason Goes to Hell will still make some profit, 8.5 million. That's not too bad. Jason X would just about make the money back, but it certainly wouldn't be making a profit and would be considered a box office failure.
Mm-hmm.
As would Freddy versus Jason.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And then, of course, we've got Friday the 13th, the reboot, and that's just about making its
That's a
budget back.
bomb.
That would be
That's an absolute bomb.
massive failure.
Wow.
So, again, if I was this theoretical executive, I'd expect to see some changes to the series to avoid this sort of thing from happening. So classic movie changes generally involve reducing the budget to make it a bit cheaper, moving location to weird and wacky places, introducing new characters, making the bad guy the hero, and failing all of that, a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder which one of those we're going to be seeing shortly.
Well, yeah, but no, those are all tried and tested. But I don't think at this time. I mean, you're basically looking. You're also looking at one of the longest running series, so you could argue that it's just that the series has run its course.
Yes, entirely true. But I did want to sort of just go back to that point about Friday the 13th, because that was quite profitable.
Yeah.
So I wanted to then do a comparison with similar films, similar original films. This is from the time. So I'm not sort of looking at the sequels or anything like that. So Friday the 13th released in 1980. There we are. But in 1976, a film we're familiar with came out. That was Carrie. It didn't
Mm.
do quite as well, and this is all in adjusted terms, so it's increased
Yeah.
to make them more comparable. Slightly larger budget, but not quite as great returns that Friday the 13th had. But in 1978, horror movies had two big successes with the original Halloween, another
Mm-hmm.
one with practically no budget and really good
No.
returns.
Yeah.
And Dawn of the Dead, I know this is technically a sequel, but it was quite a long time since the original was made.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd include it for comparison purposes. Then into 1980, Friday the 13th wasn't the only horror movie as such released.
Oh no.
The Shining came out in 1980. It had a rather large budget and did not do anywhere near as well. So I imagine some people were rather annoyed at how well Friday the 13th did.
Mm.
Just to give you some comparison, Friday the 13th, I think, was the 10th biggest box office movie in 1980.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. And that's a year when you had big name films like Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Which was huge.
Yeah. Airplane also came out in 1980. Mad Max. 9 to 5 also came out, which was a big name film.
Oh, that was massive. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good film as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. One
Especially
of
the dream sequence.
Yes.
The murder, hijack, Dolly Parton in negligee dream sequence. That was that did not go the way I thought it would.
No. Yeah, there's certainly some amusing moments in that film. It still stands
crazy.
Well. Yes. But also in 1980, there was a little known film that you might not have heard of. It was called Empire Strikes Back,
which is definitely a sequel.
Yeah, that was definitely a sequel, but yeah. So yeah, let's move on to 1981, and we see the release of Evil Dead, an American Werewolf in London. Two big films there, but neither one of them did quite as well as Friday the 13th.
I'm surprised.
So that's why we're doing this. 1982 had a bit of a mixed success. So it had a bit of a smash hit with Poltergeist. That did really well at the box office. But then there was also The Thing, which was just, it crashed at the box office, to be honest. Strangely enough, 38 years later, I own both of those films, and one of them I watch on a regular basis.
Yeah. I'm going to try and say this in the nicest ways possible. The Shining is what people who don't like horror movies always quote as like the best horror movie. I mean, it's a good horror movie, don't get me wrong. Kubrick knew what he was doing. It's a very good horror movie, but it is not. It's not got that visceral. It's not something sleazy degenerates would enjoy. It's high art.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You can see from that budget, almost 60 million budget for a horror movie. That's pretty impressive.
Poltergeist also doesn't surprise me because that's Spielberg. Spielberg put so much of his stamp on it. That, however, how is it known as a kids' movie when someone rips their own face off down to the bone? Oh my god! And The Thing did eventually make a lot of money, but that was when it got out on video.
Yeah.
So, I think
those sleeper hits.
I'm surprised Evil Dead didn't make as. I'm surprised Evil Dead didn't do better business. Honestly,
But then I imagine the later films did. I've got one more to add in. That's in 1984, a name you might recognise. So A Nightmare on Elm Street. And yeah, in adjusted figures, it didn't do quite as well as Friday the 13th.
But it did do consistently better than Friday the 13th, which is part of the story we'll get onto. And with that mention of Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to segue to a question from Tiger Chili, which is, do I need to watch Nightmare on Elm Street before I watch Jason versus Freddy? It depends. If you know the basic premise of Nightmare on Elm Street, there's a guy called Freddy Krueger. He kills people in their dreams. He's a twat. Then you will be fine. It is worth having a watch of it. Absolutely. It is a very classic movie. You only need to see one to really gel with it. and get the whole thing. But other than that, it's actually relatively explained in the intro.
Because I haven't seen Friday the 13th. Oh no, I'm sorry. I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street even. I have seen Friday the 13th.
You have seen multiple Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So it's your call. If you don't know it, watch it. But we've got 2 weeks to go, and it is available lots of places. And The Shining is pretty to look at. Yes, it is incredibly pretty, except in HD, in the Blu-ray, because they used the original print, and they went out of the boundaries of what they actually used for the film. So it's incredibly detailed, but has all the crap around the sides that shouldn't have been included and weren't included in the original. Fun fact. Anyway, would you like some amazing facts?
Oh, I love amazing facts.
Here's some amazing facts, which are amazing. Ah, you're going to love these. So first of all, yet again, it was almost Freddy versus Jason.
They like that idea, don't they?
They do like that idea an awful lot. So producer Sean Cummings, who you may remember as the producer of the original Friday the 13th, he pitched the idea. He basically picked up 4 years later, because 8 really didn't do great dollars. 4 years, about 3 or 4 years later, pitched up the idea of trying to get Jason versus Freddy, which was originally talked about part 7. Paramount didn't want to make it because, as you saw, they were looking at the numbers. It was getting close to a bit dicey. So they pitched it to New Line Cinema, who own Freddy, and New Line Cinema went, "Ooh, we got all this cash lying around. How about we buy the rights to Friday the 13th series?" And Paramount went, "Yeah, sure." And they bought the rights. Other than the name Friday the 13th, for reasons I cannot find and do not understand, which is why no more of them, the next 3, aren't called Friday the 13th. They're all called Jason's. Yeah, anyway, they bought the rights, and then they went, they basically bought the rights to make Freddy versus Jason, and then they went, nah, let's not do that, but we still want to have a Jason movie. Because, why not? And then it kind of hit a bit of a, like how the previous ones had the number of writers.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, one of the early concepts thrown around when is basically to keep the ball rolling. Cunningham threw around the idea of Jason Goes to LA, which would involve 2 street gangs teaming up to fight rampaging Jason. That didn't happen because, wow, we remember what happened when he went to New York. And this is just, let's take Friday the 13th and throw in gang violence and racial tension. I'm sure we'll handle that in a delicate manner. Anyway, eventually they got Jay Hurley, who was the writer for Magnum and PI, to write a draft of the film based on idea from Part 9's director. This was first-time director Adam Marcus, who got the job over Todd Hopper. Have you ever heard of the name Todd Hopper?
No.
Todd Hopper. He directed Poltergeist.
Oh, okay, right.
And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, so.
But no, they thought they'd get in a first-time director rather than one of the masters of modern cinema.
So somebody with a lineage or somebody... No.
Yeah, someone new. And it was originally going to be called Friday the 13th, Part 9, The Dark Heart of Jason Voorhees. But then, as said, they couldn't call it that because they forgot to get the rights for that name. They also then... Okay, I'm going to get to Tiger Chili's comments in the moment unless you want to interject with them. Otherwise, I'll completely lose my thread as always. Sorry, Tiger. I do love you, and I will answer any comments at the end. So they also then had to shit-can it because it included Tommy, who New Line had found out they hadn't got the rights for either. So, yeah. I don't know what they were doing. I don't think they knew what they were doing. So Cunningham threw out Hewley's work, partly because of that, also because, quote, it was awful and impossible to understand, and got a gentleman called Dean to write a new script with him in a room over 4 days to stop the project being cancelled. So this was basically him and a writer trying to redo the director's rough script, 4 days, one room.
Yeah.
Managed to keep the project going, but it got a rewrite from Leslie Bohm, who had done Nightmare on Elm Street 5, because 4 days. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to say this Dean guy wasn't good at his job, because he got it out in 4 days with a Sean Cummings over his head, which probably was quite intimidating. And then they got in Louis Aberinthy, who'd done a movie called Deep Start 6, to write the opening scene.
Just the opening scene.
Just the opening scene. So by my reckoning, there were at least 6 people had their hands in writing this one.
Okay.
But don't worry, it gets better. You know, I said no one knew how it was going on the set. So, you know, I said sorry, start that again. You know how I said this was a new director?
Mm-hmm.
Well, new directors make mistakes. It happens. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not being judgmental. It just happens.
Anybody do their job?
The only problem is what they normally do is have a thing called dailies, which is where they check each day what they've shot, which Adam Marcus didn't do.
Okay.
So the only person who actually viewed any of the footage during the initial 28-day shoot was the editor, David Handman.
Right.
Yeah. So after that, they'd finished, they had 45 to 50 minutes of original usable material. So they had to throw in about 43 minutes of reshoots, repurposing of footage. This led to multiple storylines being dropped, some being added by editing, and some vital scenes being compressed. This is not good.
This is sounding better.
But it gets better.
Oh, God. Right, okay.
Sean Cunningham was a long-time believer that actors never took their cues fast enough because they were too busy emoting.
Right.
So he insisted that the movie was shot at 22 frames per second instead of 24. This because he thought that would remove any signs of hesitation from the actors, which meant the whole movie had to be resynced via a harmonizer. It also meant that 90 minutes of footage they had became 80 minutes. Adding to all the fun of that. So yeah, I've got some wonderful facts to go on later, because there'll be some spoilers. But one thing that is not a spoiler is Kane Hodder is even more amazing than we thought. Okay.
So, what's he done this time? Because last time he vomited on cue.
Right. So last time he did that. The time before that, he did The Longest Burn. Okay. Now, what I didn't know was that prior to that, he had, and in a completely different movie, he'd taken 50% burns on his body. Okay. That put him in hospital for 5 months. That's not the cool bit, although having that and then putting yourself back on fire, that's kind of cool. But no, that's not that's everyday cool. I'm talking about Kane Hodder here, though, so that's not going to do. What is going to do is that one of the days when they were shooting Part 9, there was one of the crew brought along their Sprog, because their Sprog really loved the Jason movies, as all good children should somehow. And Hodder was taking off his mask, and the kid got frightened because he saw the burnt skin under Hodder's neck. Kids are like that. So Hodder hugged the kid, told him that his body just looked a bit different, that there was nothing to be afraid of, and let the kid basically gave the kid a hug, let him touch the skin on his arm, see it didn't hurt, calm the kid down. Hodder was just really calm and mellow with it. And that was when people found out that Hodder was spending large amounts of his free time working with children in burn centers.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, that
He is even
is
more amazing.
yeah, it's just he is a genuinely nice guy.
Mm.
Do you know who aren't genuinely nice guys?
Go on.
It's the critics! Right. Not starting from best to worst on this one.
So we're going from worst to best.
Yeah, no.
We're going from worst to least worst?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they trying to be John Carpenter? I don't know the context when that came out. Tiger Chili will have to. I don't know. Right. So here we go. Richard Harrington of the Washington Post. The whole thing ends up more confusing than Days of Our Lives on Fast Forward. David Nuzria, Real Film Reviews. A return to the near unwatchableness of certain earlier installments. Take your pick.
Well, we watched them, so
Yeah. But these are the critics, so they've got to be critical.
yeah.
Joshua Taylor, the New York LA idea for Jason. Yeah, quite possibly. Yes, no, I get it now because John Carpenter did Escape from New York and then he did Escape from LA. So
yeah.
Geek points for Tiger Chili. Where was I? Joshua Tyler, Cinema Blend. As torturous an experience for the viewer as it is for the victims. God. James Kendrick Q Network, Film Desk. That the end result is convoluted, lacking in logical coherence, and sometimes downright silly is not ideal. But you can sense the genuine desire to take the story in a new direction.
So that's the good one, right?
That's the good one. It's got ended up in the middle. But even then, that's pretty much. I see what you tried to do, but you shat on a tray. Stephen Holden, New York Times. The Final Friday is a largely incoherent movie that generates little suspense and relies for the majority of its thrills on close-up gore. Possibly a good review.
Okay, yeah.
Don't know. I liked this one. Corey Wilkinson of the Courier Journal. The plot is ridiculous. The dialogue wooden, and the acting and the acting a laugh. But you know that going in. The question is it scary? No, not really. So, until we get to the next set of... Right. So, what does Paul think about this one, and what are you expecting from this? And to give my bid, have you got your first kill drink at the ready?
I have a bottle today.
We've got bottles of the hard shit. That's how.
We're expecting this to require the hard shit.
Did you watch the trailer this time, like I asked you
No.
to?
No.
Okay, that's probably why you turned up.
Yes, exactly. Why would I do anything to avoid coming here?
This is actually the first, because what I normally do is I watch the trailers before I get all the reviewers stuff, and this is the first time I've actually thought they meshed up. So I'm.
So you're not excited about this particular one.
I am. I would like to say I'm cautiously optimistic.
If nothing else, we're in the last third.
Really like to say I'm cautiously optimistic. Really.
Shall we get the pain over and done with then?
I mean, this came out 4 years after, because Paramount went, we're not going to roll the dice on this.
Mm-hmm.
New Line bought the property kind of to do a movie that they then went to. So, and then the whole thing seemed to be pushed through by Sean Cunnam's just basically going, I'm going to make the next bloody movie if it kills me. And then him just going, I'm going to have so much control over it because, yeah. even yeah. So
And you big this one up.
if it doesn't make my eyes
I'm going to
bleed,
get the pain over and done with.
yeah.
We're just going to start watching this one right in 3,
3, 2,
2, and 1.
1.
Play.
I see if we can get the counter up. There's the counter.
Familiar music.
Okay.
That's a big splash screen.
Okay, we could probably get a better idea of where Crystal Lake is from that.
Mm. With the sound and the music and the car opening, this is quite like the first one.
Possibly.
We'll
the
only
car...
know that when they escape.
Yeah, if the car blows up, we'll know they didn't pay. Just look at all those windows. Perfect throwing windows. Bela Lugosi's shed didn't even bother to say they were turning up for this one. It's the only one so far they haven't even said, oh, we'll try and make it if we can.
I did wonder if they were going to go for shortest intro before a kill.
I mean, that was a reasonable
Jump, yeah.
Yeah. At least we know we're both watching the same movie.
Somebody didn't turn it off at the main.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Also, it just shows the age of the film. Yeah, that's one of those incandescent light bulbs. And about 50,000 grannies start flocking to the screen going, they were so much better, they were so much better.
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were. I know they weren't.
And after all, you can't do this. If you look at my background.
No, you can't have any of my drink. Okay, everyone, this is Rollins.
Yeah, a visitor, yes.
Okay. That's your audience time. Get back to the depths of the super fortress. Oh, hello. Well, I think that's probably up there for a nudity record.
Yep.
Move your damn tail, cat. Yeah, fixed. Ah!
So,
Oh, she's a
music
runner,
choice
isn't
is a bit
she?
weird. Yeah.
And oh, his head's looking a bit. I think his mask kind of shrunk in the wash at the end of the last one.
Yes, there's a bit more face there, isn't there?
What?
Yeah.
No, no.
The
The
Scarlet
question
Tiger
isn't
Chili says that towel is very well pinned.
that is an amazing. What?
There we go.
What?
What? I thought they were making a film for a moment then. I'm getting a lot of noise from Jason. Airstrike.
Whoa!
Okay.
Uh, um. Cheers. I.
Yeah, I think that sums it up.
It's a kill.
Well, yes, true.
Oh man, giving it away.
We don't think so either.
Why did they have pistols? I get some of them having shotguns. I get some of them having machine guns. I get some of them having assault rifles. Which poor shit drew the pistol duty? Yeah.
Uh, Especially they seem to have some kind of airstrike thing at the end of it to get him.
Oh, it was probably a mortar. Get that zeroed in. Couple of marker rounds
Yeah.
beforehand. Okay. Well, you're 2 for 2 so far, so we'll see what happens.
What were they searching him for? Do they think he had a hidden
Hang
machete
on.
or
They were
something?
patting him down to go into the morgue when he had Jason with him. And this theme music is shit.
Yeah, I'm not liking the musical choice.
It sounds like something a fucking Hallmark drama would have. Okay. Just to vouch, Motorhead Rum is really good. Would you wear that nicer watch when you're about to be elbowed deep in a corpse? I'm I'm not saying he doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying,
Mm. Is that Erin Gray from Buck Rogers?
possibly. Yeah, fair. He has been like pre-cut up. He did. It's also probably a bit
Is he
decomposed.
doing an,
He's doing an autopsy,
is
so
he doing an autopsy to figure out what killed him?
oh no, yeah. I think well, what killed him was drowning. What stopped him? No. Keep it in. Keep it in. Ugh.
Did they pad this film with the titles?
Yeah. Is the end credits going to be just like each roll one screen? Yes, we know. You already said that. The credits and the music are shit. Blood. Just saying.
No, it's not blood, apparently.
Oh, that's a nice attention to detail. I can say he's got fatty deposits around it. We're about to find out that Jason just had a shit diet, ate far too many hamburgers, or is it just he ate so many Americans the fat deposits just no? That's cruel. That's cruel. That's mean. Tiger Chili got one.
Yes, you got it right.
Got one. Well done.
What?
Well, and that, kids, is why you don't eat hearts in mortuaries until the doctor says you can.
I thought they were going to have a thorough inspection of his pizza.
I mean, that would be the sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor, I see you've eaten part of the corpse. As usual.
This is going to end well for you.
Ew.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a nice touch. So, Doc, you're covered
He's
in blood.
no-
I mean, really covered in blood.
Yeah. Foley are working brilliantly. Foley team are doing great. They're in the two. They've got to be in the 2000s. Pretty close to the number.
No, I won't remember that, but thank you for reminding me.
It's a perfectly legitimate narrative technique. You can't snark on that. That's world building. Here, have some pie. I never bargained for pies.
What?
You are a very disturbed man. I mean, that is a sunny day.
Yeah.
Okay. One, I don't think news agencies have 500 grand on expenses just lying around. And you get the man, you get the machete, you get the whole deal. Is chef's kiss. It's a brilliant line.
Hang on, have they taken him back to Crystal Lake? That's going to end well.
Why would you do that? Why would you take Jason's body back to Camp Crystal Lake? Just
Incinerate it.
just anything. Just incinerate him. Put it in a jar. I just. Do you remember when they didn't talk about the fact he was a screaming homicidal lunatic?
Yeah. That was many films ago.
Yeah. I don't know who she is, but I sure know I've seen her before. Really knows how to make friends. Oh, okay. So that's her in grey, who is Wilma in Buck Rogers. My God! And Stephen Williams was in it. I knew I recognised him from somewhere. Just call Buck. Everything will be fine. He'll sort it in minutes. Yeah. Her voice changed a lot from the series. That's a reason. They got a solid cast so far.
Yeah, they've pulled some people in for it.
$50 a day will do that. Yeah, true. Sadly. I mean, it's something to do for a weekend.
Yeah, it's traditional.
How are we almost a third of the way through the movie?
Are we really?
We are.
Oh God.
Feels like the credits were only 5 minutes ago. They quite possibly were, given how
They
spaced
were.
out they were. God, it's half an hour and. Oh, she's forward. We've already had 3, 4? No, 3. Paul, how many people have been
Unless you
killed
count
so
Jason.
far? Yeah, which
If
I
you count
did. For
Jason,
purposes
4.
of right.
Though 2 of them are off screen.
3, because there. No, 2. Yes, you're right. I'm wrong. It's okay. She was quite.
It's okay. You only knew her for 5 minutes.
Yeah, she could hardly be the love of your life. I mean, she could have been the love of your afternoon, but. Oh my god. They are shit friends. Just putting that out there. As friends go, those 2 are shit. Tiger Chili can hear me. Is Paul frozen? Oh, right. Okay.
No, I'm there.
Did they even bring earplugs for her?
Yeah.
God.
That's brilliant
Yeah.
comment. At least turn off the light. Each shadow puppet's head.
Oh god.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh dear. That was a quick pee. Oh. Okay.
She didn't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nor did he.
He certainly achieved that.
That's really unfair. Or is it just he hasn't killed anyone for like 4 years, so he's just got to catch up on lost time? Male arse. I don't think we've had this much pissing in a Friday the 13th before.
No, it's normally only one person on a toilet.
There must be. And that comment gets hidden. It's not that kind of movie, I hope. God, please, no. Away from racial stereotypes. So we've done the Americans, we've done the Germans. Canadians. What about them? Go on, Jason. Is it Jason? Or semi-Jason, Jason X? That was...
There's some kind of commentary, do you think?
Oh, God! Oh, God. Well... Wow. That was, yeah.
That was there.
That was a solid choice. But it's going back to the Voorhees opportunity. So, you know, there is some continuity, which is nice. Where is that cowboy? Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh.
Carried that far.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
That was...
Interesting.
This is something new.
Yeah, he's never done anything like that before. Okay.
Um...
Yeah, this is looking more and more like one of those films. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What?
What? What?
I just don't know what's going on.
I,
This is very different from the other films. I'm not sure I'm following.
yeah, that was. When was Hannibal out? This
When
would have
was
been
this?
after Silence of the
93?
Lamb. Yeah, 93, so that's like 2 years
Yeah, it
after.
must have been.
So I counted at least 6 people with writing input, although one of them literally just did the opening, which was brilliant. So, I mean, the opening was phenomenal. So you got a dead sheriff in your house, and your entire argument would be his reflection was that of Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and he's still bleeding from the wound. Oh, that looks like a turd. Ooh, 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 ooh! I don't like that. Oh, I like him though, even if he did almost kill himself with that. Oh, come on! There was a freaking window behind you.
He's not fully Jasoned up yet.
Oh,
Okay.
bloody hell!
Thought she was going to last a bit longer than that. Yeah. There you go.
Do not roll her on her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's just not the same. I know they tried, but it's. I just don't want to talk about it. Okay, don't want to talk about Windows. It's too raw.
That's it. Lie down on her back. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he can. Like, because I mean, his finger. Did he touch the knife at any point? Paul?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't
So
think he touched it.
they'll have the police officer's fingerprints and not his on the knife. So yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fine. That would probably be relatively convincing evidence.
You'd hope so.
Oh, by the way, your mum dead. It's a baby.
Don't mind the blood on my hands from scrubbing that carpet. It's fine.
Yeah. She was a regular on yeah, that's Alison Smith, who's done a whole ton of TV work. This is just absolutely, the cast on this ended up being huge. I've never got those black stripes on the uniform. They always just look silly. Don't know why. From Baby Boom with. Okay.
Okay.
We're all just hitting up IMDb going, ooh, I know them. I know them. I know them. Don't need to. I love that. Jesus. She's just racking up the geek points. Although she's still losing on predictions. Oh, God. Take the fingerprints, for Christ's sakes. Let him out of his blood-stained clothing. Why is he in jail?
I don't know if he's visiting. He does seem to be in a cell.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely in the clink. Very sure those trousers would have been taken as evidence. I'm just.
He's already
He
been
could
paid
wash
half
them.
a million.
No,
What does he want of a guy in a jail cell?
He hasn't been paid $500,000. He's the network said they'll give $500,000 to anyone who can prove Jason Voorhees is still alive. But I need my hand.
moving into sexy time, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think this is going to get into pain. Well, possible. I'm not going to judge. Ah, I did not like that sound effect. Oh, I don't think. No, please, God. How can you sit there so impassively to that sound effect?
I don't understand why.
Oh, what? Why is he doing it? He's got this obsession with being paid and everything having a price. Because he's a dick.
Yeah. Oh, God's sake.
He really wants to know.
Do you get a discount if you ask all the questions at the same time?
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God.
I just as long as that kneecap is not broken by the same Foley artist, I'm fine. That
Yeah.
that honestly just hit me there. That's the most disturbing sound effect of this series.
Didn't need to do that. Surely he just would have been pulled out for
I don't.
hospital treatment.
Just to clarify, this you're saying that about the police station where they let the suspect wear the evidence for 2 days.
Yeah, well, yeah, true.
Um, because the gun. No, because he brought his left hand was the one that got knackered, and he nicked it with his right hand. So yeah, one of us was paying attention. There's not much else to pay attention to. I would offer to go back and watch that sequence, but I'm not going to. So I'll take your word from it. For absolutely no reason, that person's horrible. if this ends with the baby knifing Jason, I will be, I will be over the. I can't express how happy I would be if the baby ganks Jason. That would just. If that's what happens, I don't care what your score is. It's going up to the top. Legal obligation. That's also how confident I am that they're not going to do something that fucking cool.
Yes.
With its grandmother's blood all over my hands. Where did the Voorhees house come from?
I don't know.
Where? That has been pulled wholesale out of the writer's arse.
Yeah, pretty much. Really? Oh.
Yeah, I'll explain later. But it is just glorious to see it in all its joyous. The Necronomicon del Morte, the Book of the Dead of the Dead. As opposed to the Telenecronomicon, which is the Book of Dead phone numbers. Well, that's inconvenient.
What's this guy doing there?
I really think we're missing a number of scenes. There's no way they had reception that far into the boonies at that time. What?
Oh. I say, Jason's not the bad
That
guy in
is
this case.
I mean, as far as bad ideas go, that's up there with putting the horns on the inside of the helmets. Oh, God.
Is it like, trying to pass the heart?
I don't know. It seems to be some kind of giant turd lizard that comes out of his mouth. Melty!
Oh, fuck's sake.
He ain't ever coming back from that trauma. Oh, my. Good Lord, that was revolting. Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Yes. That was quality. That was really quality.
That was certainly high on you scale.
Oh, it was the jaw on the floor. That was just the attention to detail in this is there is some phenomenal attention going on. Well, it was like when the heart started beating and the scale started changing weight at the start.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. It's like the people doing the sets were really, and the special effects were really on ball. Something like that. Yeah. Psycho yuppie. Tiger Chili is way ahead of us on this. The important thing is Jason did take time out of his mission to recover his body to just kill some horny teenagers. Yeah, you have to respect the man's focus on his mission. Oh, she is not fucking around. She's got the claw end of that hammer first. That's nice. Nice. I've got no underwear on. Put me down. Yep, told you.
Yep.
See, that bum shot was foreshadowed. So the way you can recognize if you've been possessed by Jason is you end up looking like the lead singer of The Cure.
Yeah. So run over them twice just to make sure.
Only you can prevent forest fire. Thank Thank you for that message. Oh, that always works.
Where's the baby?
I think still in the fast food restaurant. That's what I thought too. It's Robert. Yeah, Robert Smith is a sexually communicable disease. It's as simple as that. And every Cure fan on the planet who sees this is going to hate me, which will be about none of them. That's a completely valid reaction, by the way. After hearing all that,
Yeah.
going, you're talking shite and legging it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, she's justified.
And still has no underwear. I cannot criticize her for any of that. Kick him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason they give you nightsticks. You should just whacked him around the head with it.
Oh, God.
Oh! It's okay. I look good in uniforms.
Ooh.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh! Oh!
Oh,
Why?
his poor friend.
I'm just saying, that friendship is over.
And rightfully so.
Oh!
Ooh. Good call.
You know, if everyone had worked together on this, it would have been such a different story. It really would have.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just admiring her maternal instincts. Oh man. Mask hanging in restaurant. Ooh,
Is it?
I'm looking. Hey, bullet cam. Oh! Oh, that sound.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you read that note?
No, no, because it was only there for a second.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, oh,
Oh, oh, oh.
oh. I have what I ah. Think, think, think. How can you hurt him? Yes.
She's doing well,
Oh,
this waitress.
oh my good lord! Did she used to be in the Marines or something? Wow. And yeah, props to Tiger Chili for her eyes on that one. That was very. Oh. Round of applause for the waitress.
She's done the job.
So the cowboy nicked it. The baby. Her.
Mm.
Yes, split the group.
I think there's only like 3 people left in the entire town.
3?
I can't think. Oh no, there's
I
his
have your
best mate Cop
baby.
is still alive.
Ah.
What every good restaurant needs.
I mean, they were trying to do a Jason-themed restaurant, so fair
True.
cop. But it's
Yeah.
probably been sitting there all the other seasons. We just didn't notice. So total Chekhov's machete.
I thought Jason's goal was to jump into her.
Um, is this going to go Omen or something? Excalibur!
Okay.
Uh, that bot is annoying. This is actually like relatively competently made, but I've
Mm.
no clue. I'm missing half a fucking clue as to what's going on. I don't know what happened with the bot. I've lost. I I don't know. No, you didn't do anything wrong, Tiger. I, I the important thing is stab everyone that comes here.
Yeah. Stab everyone.
Just, just kill every.
Whichever one you went for was going to be the wrong one, which is why you need to stab them all.
Told you that friendship was over.
Yeah.
Dramatic action.
Ooh.
Ew.
What the f is happening now?
It's a boggle. It's a goddamn boggle. Ramen noodles, yeah. Ramen noodles, absolutely, 100%. What? Was that like a large bag of explosives that just happened to be there?
Maybe.
That's
Apparently, someone
revolting.
was an Arctic. Has it gone into the dead body?
That scene was revolting. What?
Are we supposed to?
I don't know, but that's definitely
Right, he
a
was there at
plan.
the. Yeah. And I think Duke was there at the first scene.
No?
I think he was standing in the background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
Oh, for God's sake. Window!
No! I don't want to talk about it. It's not the same, all right? It's like when your goldfish die and your parents buy you a new one and go, "Oh, it's just the same." It's not. I don't want to talk about it. It's macking time. Welcome to the climbing frame of death.
Oh, this guy's taking a pounding throughout the entire film.
Mac! It's like a Roman candle.
Okay.
Yay, premarital sex. What a perfect way to bring him back. Let's do some drugs and fuck on the spot where he went to hell. What could possibly go wrong? Dog about to piss on it, or
Okay.
ooh,
That's obviously where they're trying to link.
so. Enough of that god awful music.
Yeah.
I can't listen to all. I'm just literally stopping it because that was terrible music. So,
Tango the Wonder Dog. Sorry. They popped up at the end there.
yeah, uh, yeah. That Bingo the Wonder Dog was definitely a choice. So, what did you
So
think?
that was 85 minutes long.
Um,
I'm a little bit lost for words on that one.
it wasn't as awful as I thought it was going to be. It was. I mean,
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was bad.
oh, I'm
It
not.
had some enjoyable moments, certainly.
I'm not going to pretend it was high art for a moment, but I'm thinking about this as a, you know, so far everything we said has been within the grounds of it being a Friday the 13th. So, you know, the obvious first question is, I mean, how do you think the Jason compared to the others?
There was very little actual Jason,
No, he was Jason on
which was
each.
a bit of a.
Jason was on a lot. It was just him in different bodies. Oh, Paul's gone. Wow, Paul has literally just totally disconnected. Come back.
Okay, I don't know what happened there.
Right. He was actually on screen quite a lot. It was just him in other people. It was definitely
Well,
Jason.
yeah, but I didn't feel it was Jason when it was in other people because he was doing weird things when he was in other people.
Such as?
Like, why did he grab that guy and put him in all that strappy stuff?
I
It's like,
I have no idea. I was going to ask you about that scene. I have absolutely
yeah,
no idea.
I didn't.
No, none.
I mean, the other ones he just sort of grabbed and tried to move from one body to the next, which is fair enough. But that one he strapped down for
Well,
some reason.
other than that, though, I'm going to say.
So, other than that,
I'm going to say I thought
we had a
no. We were on the Jason thing.
on?
I thought a lot of them
Yeah.
acted like Jason. I think it
Hmm.
maintained a lot of the core attributes of Jasonism that we used to. Quick, efficient kills, targets of opportunity, weapons of opportunity, Very mission focused. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that
It's just it didn't feel quite right for parts of the film because there was this whole new storyline of moving from one body to the next body,
they pulled a
and
lot. They pulled a lot of mythos out of the ass. Like as I said at the time, where the
yeah.
where the, that house come from?
Mm.
This was this was trying to be an origin story, but we already had the origin story.
Yeah, it didn't quite fit, did it?
No,
And again, we've got a random character who knows a lot about the backstory with no explanation as to why he knows so much.
yeah, um, yeah,
And why did Jason want to kill the last two Voorhees
because
at the
they were
end?
the only
I
ones
mean,
that could kill him.
yeah, they were the only ones who could kill him, but they're the only ones who can bring him back as well.
Uh, I think it was a case of he needed them to bring them back to bring him back properly. Oh no, sorry, yeah, because he
He
went into
needs
the
one of
body of
them.
the mum. Yeah, he went into the
Yeah,
body of the mum. Although
and
the
that's
question
it.
is,
You know, he didn't.
why didn't he do that sooner? Maybe he didn't know. Maybe it was a desperation move on his part. I don't know. But there was a very clear reason why he wanted the Voorhees.
Hmm.
There was a very clear reason ish. They needed the Wazzy dagger to actually kill him. Because as we
Hmm.
see, they're the only ones that they were actually able to send him to hell. So that was explained,
Yeah, that was explained.
but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of other bits that weren't quite explained.
No, like how he got in jail. Um
It just
how
randomly
they
shows up in jail.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's in the sticks and he's black in America, so he could easily just have been arrested for having the wrong color. Um, yeah. Favorite kill?
Um, I think that's probably maybe not favorite kill so much as favorite death scene. So
Okay.
when he transfers over to the sort of arsehole boyfriend reporter guy, and
Yeah.
the old host starts melting.
Yeah. That
That
was
was long and convoluted and entertaining.
that was solid. Um, I'm gonna go if I'm allowed to.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Marine Sergeant Waitress
Yeah.
because she got enough of a kill in for him to have to jump body.
Hmm.
And that was we have always credited people for having a go. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, hang on. Good night, Scarlet Tiger Chili. Have a good
Good
one.
night. See you Thursday. Um, we have always credited people for having a go,
Yeah,
and
and
she just was
she did.
absolutely going for it. I mean, that was
Everyone else is there with the pistols and things like that, and you just see her, and she sort of swings that shotgun up, and there we go.
yeah.
And
And she picked up
she was having
the
fun.
rebar, and
Yeah,
yeah,
straight in.
yeah. So that was solid, and the rest of them were okay. There were
Yeah.
a couple of jump shots. I mean, going back to something Tiger Chili said, it definitely had a more dynamic lighting range. Like we had lots
Mhm.
of more daytime and nighttime happening,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
Yeah. It felt like there was more production quality to it in many ways.
Oh yeah, they absolutely ramped it up. For anyone who doesn't know, the book that they found was the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people have argued that that makes him a Deadite. Technically, it doesn't because they didn't have the license for it. So officially, he's not a Deadite. Okay. Also, that was loaned by Sam Raimi
Mm.
to Sullivan. To
So it's the
so
genuine one from the Evil
so
Dead.
Tom. So it was, yeah. He basically lent it to the director for bit of a giggle. That was Tom Sullivan's From Evil Dead. He lent it to the director for a bit of a giggle because he thought it would be cool. However, he didn't ask permission to borrow it. And yeah, Tom Sullivan said he never got paid for it and he would never again loan out props without granting permission. So that got a bit of tension going. Other fun bits, which might sway your vote. The director decided he wanted to create the most deliberately stereotypical and cliche-ridden opening in the film to toy with audience expectations, which it did. Also, there's a chance that some of the scripting is because Cunningham instructed him to find a way to get rid of that fucking mask, which he did. That was a quote, by the way. Get rid of that fucking mask. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically it's a cute little Easter egg, but legally it doesn't tie into the rest of it. However, what does legally tie into it is that was Freddy's claw.
Freddy.
Absolutely correct. Oh, and that was played by Kane Hodder.
Oh, what, Freddy's hand?
Freddy's hand's played by Kane Hodder. So he is the only person to have played Jason and Freddy. And I believe there's a couple of other series he's in, so he's basically
Mr. Monster, basically.
Yeah, as well. The guy's allowed to. He's an absolute gent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those were a couple of bits I was holding off. I mean, there's definitely a change of pace than on the last one.
Yes, they did. There was a different agenda and completely new storyline to this one, which is quite a nice change of pace as such.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just a random set of killings. It wasn't just a case of you're in the wrong place, so therefore you're going to die. There was a very definite objective and a definite way to stop him as well, which is the first time we've had anything like that.
Yeah.
It's always been much more opportunistic before.
I mean, he did go back to Crystal Lake to do the traditional, which was kind of cool, but then they scrapped that for no, actually, I need to get a new body. I don't like this one. And he definitely doesn't like moustaches. That's my headcanon.
What was that all about?
I do not have any means of even... I do not begin to understand that scene. It was...
There were so many weird scenes in that film.
So yeah, more points for. I don't know how to put this. Okay, if this is a little cheaty, if it hadn't been a Friday the 13th,
that would have been a just general trashy movie that I would have enjoyed for a giggle.
Yeah.
As part of Friday the 13th.
As part of Friday the 13th.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to be over harsh on this because
it doesn't quite sit right. Yeah.
I don't know where you're going to go with this one because it was. We have seen and enjoyed worse. So, man, that was. It's like the technical detailing, and I don't think it was as badly put together as people made out. There were a couple of plot holes, but nothing too severe.
Yeah, there were weird bits inserted, but
overall,
you're right that the special effects in some places were brilliant.
Yeah,
and really enjoyable to watch. And yeah, as I say, sometimes just the attention to detail was great.
I don't think there was any point where the special effects were bad.
No, you're right. That they were solid throughout that.
They were either solid or really good. Those were the two grades.
Yeah.
And acting, I don't think there was a bad actor in the bunch of them.
No, I was expecting the acting to be much worse, but no, that was good.
There were some very nice little character moments.
It's just... Yeah. It was
I,
literally the story that left us with a what the hell is going on here
but
moment
even
more often
then,
than not.
I think we're going to have to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're going to put this because I'm not disagreeing with you, but I've got this overwhelming feeling of, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that bad a
it
film.
wasn't that bad. No, that's the thing. It
I
wasn't that
honestly,
bad. Yeah.
from all the chatter I've seen on all the on all the Jason groups and everyone bagging on this to hell, I
Critics and everything. I was not expecting anything out of
well,
this. I
it
was
was
expecting complete trash.
I'll bring up the critics score later, but yeah, I got to ask because we can't really. There's not a huge amount of conversation to have on this because it's completely out of context.
Yeah, and
It,
that's kind of the problem because I kind of want to put it at the bottom because, in context of all the other Fridays, it just doesn't fit. But there were a lot of nice bits to it.
okay, I'm gonna defend it. Uh,
Hmm.
okay. Big things to say. Number one, they tried and they succeeded in doing something different. Make of that statement what you
Yeah.
will. Number two,
Mm.
they tried for reasons I don't necessarily understand. They tried to put a justification and a backstory in. So within that, they were trying to, whereas all the other ones had been very linear. They'd never done anything with the Jason Voorhees mythos. The only, let me think. Um, One started the Jason mythos, and I want to say six brought him back from the dead, and two established he was so one had him as a kind of pseudo zombie.
Hmm.
Two made him a woodsman, an unstoppable woodsman,
Yeah.
and which he hadn't drowned, but you can play with that how you want in your head.
Yeah.
And then six established the resurrected nature of him.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, this this is the only other film that's really done the mythos building, and they took it right back to the start and went, okay, we know the mum was wacky and she was severely taunted, and we know she was obsessed about the boy. So they gave a how he came backness rather than he just did,
Mm.
which is try to do something different. They try to put a different
Yeah.
set of kills in and something a bit more. And let's face it, that we knew as moviegoers that whichever one he ganked was going to be the wrong one. But sorry, whichever
Mm.
one she ganked, the female
She shot. Yeah.
ganked.
Yep.
But did you know until the gank happened which one was going to be
No.
ganked? So that
No.
was something we've never seen with the Jason's movie. Again, whether you think that is a good thing or a bad thing, I leave to you. But I'm just saying that they did successfully do something different. They did successfully
Yeah.
move the story on, and they did
Yeah.
successfully give us as a viewing audience a really different viewing experience.
Yes, they did.
So,
So, as a Friday the 13th movie, I think
where
this is probably the weakest story of the lot. However, I enjoyed the film. I'm going to put it at knee height.
you're putting it at knees,
Yeah, I'm putting it at knees, just up a little bit from there, maybe. That's it. Put it there because as weird as it was and as little sense as it made, I still kind of just enjoyed it. And there were a lot of nice bits to it.
I mean, it really reminded me of The Hidden, where Carl McLaughlin's like big sci-fi breakthrough movie after he did Judy. There was lots of it reminded me of The Hidden, and The Hidden was a pretty solid film. Yeah, there was. I'm not going to pretend this was great, but it was fine.
Actually, I'm going to put this higher. I want that hip height, please.
Hip.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just the more I think about it, the more I enjoyed the sheer nonsensical nature of that film. I don't know.
so
There, yes, right
yeah.
there.
Okay. Now, because we're coming near the end,
Yeah.
how are we? Is there anything you want to move around? Looking at it
No,
in
I'm gonna leave it like that.
leave it like that.
I,
Okay.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's, it is such a such an interesting one because it doesn't really fit, but I did enjoy it.
I can see it go of all of the ones we've had so far.
Hmm.
I can see it going. This is the one I can see most likely to go down.
Yeah, it's just
But
after that, I am filled with a sense of that was a giggle.
yeah, I can't hate it. I can
No, no,
get why the Friday the 13th fandom
yeah, entirely. Yeah,
entirely because it is just out of context.
it is. It doesn't really fit. If it was based just in like terms of the franchise itself, it's
Yeah,
down the bottom. But
but then
as a film, that was entertaining.
yeah,
It was suitably cheesy and bad and brilliant all at the same time.
yeah. But you are the weirdo that gave I want to say five. Uh, where's five?
Oh, I can't see.
One, two, three. Was
Fi-
Jason four, five? That must be no
no?
five. A new beginning. Yeah, you are. You are.
There we go. Yeah.
Uh, you reckon? I mean, you did put five relatively high, and you also really liked four, which a lot of people think is a bit of hands. But
Hmm.
yeah, okay, yeah. I I gotta be honest, it kind of reminds me of Jason Lives in that it just got the fuck on
Went
with it.
off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, just
It went off the rails. I'm going to do my own thing. Don't worry about you guys.
yeah. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna party like it's 1993. However, um, you are in a distinct minority.
Yes, I can imagine that.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read these bits out very quickly. Sean Cunningham had a different opinion, claiming Adam came to me and said the last thing the fans want is to see Jason going through Camp Crystal Lake chopping up teenagers again. Of course, it was the only thing they wanted to see, and Adam delivered this movie that was not so good. That's a definite opinion. It is the D-rated movie. This is the absolute stinker in the pack. It is the lowest rated on the listings. 4.2 on IMDb, giving it an adjusted 1 out of 3. And a D grade. Curiously enough, though, 5.3 return on investment. That was done for
That's
3
not bad.
million. That was done for 3
Yeah.
million, and domestic box office 15.9 million.
Oh, that actually surprises me because the budget for the last one was something like 5 million. So they did reduce the budget, but
They
they got some big
reduced.
names in there.
I don't think anyone was a big name.
Well,
Um,
they were all recognizable actors.
they got some
Uh,
talent. I would say it was more
yeah,
that they got some definite talent in there. And I think,
yeah.
as I said, I don't think there was a bad actor. There were some terrible parts. There were some awful
Yes.
lines, but I don't think there was a bad actor amongst them. I think there was some bad direction, but that's very different beast. But yeah, this yeah, it made 5.3, which is it not bad. I'd do that.
So yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, I think some of it's got to be the fact that there wasn't a another move. There hadn't been one for 4 years, so that
Yeah.
probably had something to do with it. But then again,
Yeah, he might have oversaturated it before that.
no, I mean it wasn't making the money that like eight, and these are now adjusted dollars, you know, for inflation. It wasn't making any. I mean, that's still beneath everything from New Blood prior. So you know
Yeah.
it's still not great, but obviously didn't do well enough because we don't have an. That was in 1993. When do you next think the next movie was? Why am I asking? You know this. We have a gap.
I think it's 9 years.
9 years. Next movie didn't come out until 2002, which is for this series. That's basically this got
Huge
put
gap.
to bed. That was it.
That's an 8-film gap. That is.
Yeah. Christ. They could have done it. It's a frightening thought. Yes. Next week, Thursday the 22nd, our Christmas extravaganza. We'll be here at 8. We have got Jason X.
Yeah, we're going to see how that one works out.
Jason Voorhees returns with a new look, a new machete, and his same murderous attitude as he awakens on a spaceship in the 25th century. So, Paul, how are you feeling about that?
Well, I happen to love sci-fi, so I think this is going to be terrible.
I'm a bit more positive. I think this is going to do what 9 tried to do. I think this is what I think Jason X is going to do what Jason Goes to Hell wanted to do. It's obviously in a very different setting. It's in space. It's 25th century. There is no way you could do that seriously.
Is it in the 25th century? Because he's just gone into someone from Buck Rogers.
Possibly. He wakes up. What we know at this point is he wakes up on a spaceship in the 25th century, right? So I think this could very much. I think this could do what. I'm not saying it's going to be classic. I'm just saying I think it's going to do what 9 tried to do, in that it's going to do something different. It's going to be in a very different location. I think it's going to give in a more postmodern way to its kitschiness and roll with the humor. You don't believe a word of what I said, do you?
If they try and play this one seriously, it's going to be diabolical. So I really do hope they go with the humor.
If they try and do it as Alien, then that's going to be 20 years too late.
Yes.
Right. You just have. Oh God! When I finished trying to explain why I thought it could be good, your vision visibly just like lost resolution. Even your camera is revulsed and doesn't believe a word I'm saying. Anyway, so Christmas extravaganza, Jason X. We're only 3 weeks off this being over. You could follow us, bunkerzilla.co.uk, the Bunkerzilla Stomping Grounds on Facebook. So we're on YouTube, Bunkerzilla UK. Please Google Uwe Ball. That's Uwe Uwe Ball Boll Ball Ball. Find us, Goose Cash.
Yeah.
Bunkerslid.co.uk, follow the signs, donate to Crisis.
Very good cause, so please do give some money.
Yeah, that's on the
and
27th.
Do join us next week for Paul and Andrew. Watch all of Friday the 13th here on Bunkerzilla Twitch, the home of geek culture in the UK.
Bye.
Good night. Take care.